Hi and welcome to Rockingham. We're here for the third meeting of the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship, and with the biggest grid yet since the championship was conceived, with 18 cars on grid, it's going to make for an exciting weekend's racing. Carlito Morocco is currently in the lead, but there's only 4 points between the top 3 drivers. So, Richard, it's over to you for that all-important grid lineup for race 1.
Thanks, Rachel. Pole position goes to Cameron Pugh from Bradley Burns, Carlito Morocco third from Elliott Wilson, then James Waite, Callum Hawkins Rowe followed by Harry Gooding and Ronan Quinn. Row 5, Lachlan Bierman and Jack Davidson, Sikander Hussain with Lewis Kent on row 6, then Nicholas Reeve and Angus Dudley, Christopher Mackenzie and Ben Swift ahead of James Hillary and Danny Harrison. So Carlito Morocco leads the championship by 1 point from Elliott Wilson. Then it's Harry Gooding further 3 points behind. Lachlan Bierman on 93 points in 4th place. And as we look at the grid, Cameron Pugh is there in red on the inside of the front row. Bradley Burns, the red and black car, and Burns gets away very well indeed. It's a crowded field, the biggest field in the history of Fiesta Junior racing. And they're going to bunch up as they go into turn 1. Oh, looks like Callum Hawkins Rowe becomes a meat in a sandwich. A little tag on the back from Hawkins Rowe on the back of Morocco with Lachlan Bierman on the inside. They all survived. That could have been nasty into the concrete wall, but as they come down into Dean, it's Bierman, Waite, Gooding and Wilson. Diving up the inside is Sikander Hussain, but Hussain goes wide. It was a brave attempt into the hairpin there by Sikander Hussain. It's got Lewis Kent all over his rear end coming down into Yentwood for the first time, but what a great start by Bradley Burns. Harry Gooding is running in 2nd position. Bearing car number 7 is Cameron Pugh, started on pole position. Well, pole is all well and good if you can hold it. Very often I've seen so many races here at Rockingham, and off and to retirement goes, well, possibly into retirement, goes Ronan Quinn, certainly beached on the grass at the moment and may well try and get back on. Lachlan Bierman going wheel to wheel there with Sikander Hussain. It's an all-action start in the Fiesta Junior Championship. As I mentioned, the biggest grid we've ever had. We're up to 18 cars now, and a very warm welcome to the championship to number 12, Nicholas Reeve, who joins with the Specialised Motorsport team. So you see Nick in one of the orange cars, and we wish him a long and successful career. Longest career, of course, you can have in this championship is 3 years, because this is for 14 to 17-year-olds. But what a superb grid that's been put together. Cameron Pugh, they're up ahead of Elliott Wilson. Wilson won the first 2 races of the season. That was at Snetterton. Then we had 2 races at Silverstone. Carlito Morocco and Harry Gooding winning those. Gooding goes across the line in 2nd position. Wonderful shot from the gantry here at Rockingham. The pit lane shot, very NASCAR style, heading down that fast main straight into turn 1. The key thing for these youngsters is that there isn't the runoff that you get on the other circuits, just the concrete wall on turn 1. But now they get into what I suppose you could call the safer area of the circuit through the Dean hairpin. This configuration at Rockingham just a shade over 2 miles in length. They're coming through Yentwood, a little bit of a climb. A lot of people say that Rockingham is flat, but there are some subtle gradient differences here, and there are probably flatter circuits in the UK. Lachlan Bierman up the inside there of Sikander Hussain. Sikander trying to break into the top 10 of the championship with some consistent point scoring here. Bierman at the moment 4th in the championship, chasing Harry Gooding. He's not going to make all the 2 Specialised boys getting stuck in, and the newcomer in the mix there, Nick Reeve, running very well. You saw Nick there with the yellow square on the back of the car, and 3 wide. Carlito Morocco trying to get on terms with the 2 Specialised Motorsport runners. Carlito leading the championship by 1 point. Elliott Wilson may well take over the championship lead after this race, but Morocco having to watch the 2 teammates getting stuck in. Good move by Morocco there, down the inside of the newcomer, and goes through, and he's going to chase Sikander Hussain, who in turn is chasing Lachlan Bierman. Again, you can see a little bit of gradient, and up and down as they come along School Straight into the Brook S's. Morocco chasing Sikander Hussain, the teenager from Rotherham, comes out of the chicane section onto turn 4, and then it's absolutely flat out right the way along the main straight down into turn 1. You can see the white lines there. If you get consistently over those white lines on the inside, it's going to be deemed a track limits penalty. And here comes Morocco, looks down the inside of Sikander, came offline nice and early. In-car view from Danny Harrison, a little bit further back on the grid. Danny didn't set a qualifying time, so he's trying to work his way up the order. Danny made his debut at Brands Hatch last year. He's only had one finish so far this year, which was 11th place at Snetterton. So Danny Harrison hoping to get a decent result here. More importantly, first and foremost, get to the finish. So we look at Lachlan Bierman still involved there with the number 12 car of Nicholas Reeve. Reeve chasing him hard. Sikander Hussain is right in behind. So meanwhile, the race leader goes through. Bradley Burns, fastest lap, new record in fact set by Bradley Burns. James Waite, the youngster from Barking, in second place in car number 17, followed by the red, white and blue car of Harry Gooding, who's challenging here for second position. Inside here as they come through Gracelands, and he's got that second place. So Gooding in second position, Waite down to third as they come down towards the Tarzan hairpin. So there you go. I think that battle pretty much settled for the moment, and James Waite finds himself down in third position. So Waite here looking to repeat the podium that he had at Snetterton, 2 third places at Snetterton, had a retirement and a second place at Silverstone. And meanwhile, Harry Gooding, who had the win at Silverstone in race 2, looking to bag another one of those, and he's been so consistent. Harry Gooding, third in the championship, with Carlito Morocco, the only man, plus Elliot Wilson, the only 2 men that are ahead of him, but very, very close on the points, as Rachel said in the introduction to the programme. But things at the moment relatively settled. There is Waite in car number 17, running in third place, but now coming under pressure, and a big clatter there from Elliot Wilson. Wilson second in the championship, and there's a dive up the inside of Waite's having absolutely none of it, still getting stuck in. Callum Hawkins-Rowe is going to nip down all past the pair of them, and there's contact again on Waite, who goes all over the place. Hawkins-Rowe's going to try and go through. There is probably some damage on these cars, but for my money, Waite was under big attack there, and now there's the manifestation of the problem for Elliot Wilson, who was trying to go through on the inside. Very physical racing. You can see why they call it a feeder for the Touring Car Championship. Elliot Wilson, the man from West Malling, debuted in 2014, doing his A-levels at Maidstone Grammar School. There is Callum Hawkins-Rowe, though, who has come through very well indeed through that. Remember, he was involved in that first turn bunching. I'm not going to say any more than that about the first turn, because they all funnel down from a very wide start through turn 1, and then it gets even tighter when they go into that Dean hairpin. But Callum Hawkins-Rowe's come through, car number 41. Callum with 3 retirements out of 4 races so far, but the other race that he finished on, as Lachlan Bierman goes through on the inside of Waite to take 4th position behind, 5th position now, behind the 22 of Elliot Wilson. And again contact involving James Waite in the 17, who is going to pull it up. So James Waite now goes into retirement, but the race leaders are on the last lap, and it's still Bradley Burns out front. And this is the scrap for 4th place. Lachlan Bierman down the inside of the 22 car of Elliot Wilson, who looks like he's got a problem. So Wilson, we know, was in the wars as well, and he drops back. So Lachlan Bierman here in 4th place. Bradley Burns still the race leader from Gooding, and Bierman's coming up the inside line. What a debut we've had from Nicholas Reeve here in car number 12. Reeve goes through on the inside of Sikander Hussain. Cracking move by Reeve. He really is enjoying his debut here, racing hard but significantly cleanly with his Specialised Motorsport teammate. This is great racing between the pair. through Chapman and up into Piff Paff they go, the further, the outer reaches of the circuit here at Rockingham. So Bierman still there in fourth place, but it's Bradley Burns still up front with that fastest lap of the race. Burns a 1:45.845, very nearly 70 mile an hour average. There's the race leader, Bradley Burns, the young man from Alton in Hampshire. And this is going to be his first win. It's going to be, after following up 7th and 2/8 and a retirement so far this year, the youngster that joined the championship at Silverstone on the 16th of August last year. Bradley Burns comes through the Brook S's for the last time. All he's got to do is steer it through turn 4 and along the straight to take it. Carlito Moracco's in front of him, clearly damaged from earlier on. There's the checker. Bradley Burns takes the win. Harry Gooding is going to take second position. Third place goes to Callum Hawkins Road from Lachlan Bierman. Then it was Sikander Hussain. Nicholas Reeve, fine debut in sixth place from Danny Harrison. And then Jack Davidson, Elliot Wilson, Angus Dudley, Lewis Kent, followed by Christopher Mackenzie, Ben Swift, Cameron Pugh and Carlito Moracco.
You managed to bring it home by beating the lap record. How do you feel?
It was quite a good start. Second on the podium, got into first corner well, and then just carried on through from then.
Bradley was pulling away. Did you ever feel you could catch him or not?
Well, he was pulling away. We sort of midway through, we sort of caught him a little bit, but he was a bit quicker than us.
At the start, you want to keep the revs high, feed in the clutch, and then get it hooked. Unfortunately, I let it slip a little bit too much. Didn't really get a good bite, but so I dropped down a couple of the order. But I did manage to, weave my way through the carnage of the first corner, let's say.
Well, here's the grid for round 6. Bradley Burns on pole with Harry Gooding, and then Callum Hawkins Rowe and Lachlan Bierman. Sikander Hussain and Nicholas Reeve next from Danny Harrison and Jack Davidson. Elliot Wilson 9th from Angus Dudley. Then Lewis Kent and Ronan Quinn. Christopher Mackenzie from Ben Swift and Cameron Pugh. Carlito Moracco 16th, followed by the two Jameses, Waite and Hillary. Lights out, away we go, and in car with Danny Harrison, who's going to slot between the two Specialised Motorsport boys. Quick start by Harrison, through the gears, but look at that, round the outside, fantastic start from Lewis Kent. The Essex Bodies car goes round the outside, but it's Burns from Gooding. Callum Hawkins Rowe is next, coming under pressure from Lachlan Bierman. Bierman's up the inside into third, squeezes his nose ahead into second place. Great move then by Bierman, in car with Danny Harrison. Inside line converts to the outside, coming down into Yentwood, which is the right-hander. And there in the mix is 21 Jack Davidson, you just saw to the right of shot, but it's Bradley Burns looking to add another win to his collection here. Cracking start indeed then by 38, Lewis Kent. We go in car with Danny Harrison. A very slow start off the line by Ronan Quinn in the iSource Talent car. Driver very capable of getting up onto the podium in Fiesta Junior Racing. So it's Burns from Bierman, Gooding in third place, then Callum Hawkins Rowe, followed by Lewis Kent. Kent, what a terrific start, very well earned. There is Sikander Hussain up ahead of Cameron Pugh. So the race leaders coming down in towards the Tarzan hairpin, named after the similar corner at the Zandvoort Grand Prix track, former Grand Prix circuit in Holland. Danny Harrison comes from South Benfleet. As we said in race number 1, his first full season in Fiesta Junior Racing. Lock up there as Cameron Pugh looks down the inside, but nothing quite doing. Passed there by James Hillary, up ahead of Christopher Mackenzie. And it's Jack Davidson in the white and blue car, the Scot, based in Falkirk. Wonderful view from the gantry as the cars all cross the line. A fine field, as we said, the biggest entry that we've ever had in this championship, but it's proving very popular indeed. So Bierman coming under pressure now from Harry Gooding, who's going to look to the outside line. This is brave stuff from Gooding. Bierman hangs on to it, and it's Gooding ahead of Callum Hawkins Rowe. Gooding clatters the Jam Sport prepared car over the curbs. Cooper Motorsport man in second position, with Bradley Burns still in the lead of this one and looking to take another win. Bradley qualified a fine second. Carlito Moracco here is going to be looking to try and work his way up the order, so keep your eyes open for the 76 car trying to make good after that tagging and contact. Off the circuit goes Danny Harrison and back on, but passed there by Elliot Wilson. Elliot, I think, possibly the new championship leader now. So Bierman and Gooding dicing over second place. This is allowing Bradley Burns to start to get away. So Bradley Burns building a little bit of a lead at the moment, and Gooding looking up the inside. Bierman's on the outside, and if Bierman can hang on, he'll have the inside line for the Brook S's. He doesn't hold on, tucks back in, and I think he was just thinking about Callum Hawkins-Rowe coming up behind him to challenge for what was now third place. We go back in car with Danny Harrison, who's working hard in the number 19 machine, and now you can see that Gooding has caught Bradley Burns. So Bradley Burns with Callum Hawkins-Rowe right in behind now. It's Burns under pressure from Gooding, and they've broken away from Lachlan Bierman. You can see Bierman's well back now in fourth place, but Bierman's still in a pretty good points scoring position at the moment. Might be able to close up on these three guys as the race develops, but it's Bradley Burns still there, and Gooding for me is looking pretty swift here. Callum Hawkins-Rowe might do well to just get in with him and maybe work the toe. Look at the gap back to Lachlan Bierman in fourth. It's a massive gap back now to fourth position. So Bierman goes through. Carlito Moracco gradually picking off cars and coming through from the back after the problems in race number one. But Bradley Burns, for my money, looks like he's responding, but goes wide. Oh, Bradley Burns under big pressure from Harry Gooding in the 16 car, and Harry Gooding wants to grab another win. He won race 2 at Silverstone, and he knows that he might be in with a shout here as well. And Callum Hawkins-Rowe could well be on for it as well. Hawkins-Rowe trying to get on the back of these two guys, but it's Bradley Burns who went very wide into the Dean hairpin that time, and he's under big pressure from Harry Gooding. So the KPG Transport Tour Trucks MV Commercials car is putting the pressure on and goes on the inside line through Gracelands and takes the lead. Great move by Harry Gooding into the lead. Bradley Burns is down to second. Now, does Burns attack, or does he look at his mirrors and go defensive and try to preserve what is now second position? Whatever happens, Burns is getting up into the sharp end of the championship standings here. He finishes on the podium, so he's going to get up into the top 6 of the championship, and the answer is that he's not going to stay second because Callum Hawkins-Rowe goes through on the inside line. Burns is attacking back, but Burns is going to have the outside for the next corner. I think he realises that if he stays on the outside line, you can sometimes get a lunge down into the S's, but he doesn't do that, so it's still Gooding out front. Callum Hawkins-Rowe now in second. Bradley Burns, who qualified second originally and won race 1 of the meeting, still on the podium in third place. Now, if my sums are working out correct, if they stay like this, Harry Gooding will lead the championship on total points scored, but Carlito Moracco will lead on drop scores, which start to kick in now. So it'll be Gooding from Moracco, Elliot Wilson, in fact tied with Carlito. Here we go. It's all going to be, oh, look at Burns really wide into it. Doesn't seem particularly happy going into the hairpin, but here not losing that much ground on Callum Hawkins-Rowe. In fact, I think starting to put a bit more pressure on the 15-year-old from Brackley, who's running in second position. But Jamsport here looking for a 1-2. So Harry Gooding is the man out front at the moment, in car with Danny Harrison once again. Danny here at the moment running in seventh place, and Cameron Pugh goes all over the grass in the Lemonade car, off onto the grass. I don't know if that's going to be a retirement, doesn't look particularly happy there, but back to our race lead. Bradley Burns dropping away now, so Harry Gooding ahead of Callum Hawkins-Rowe. This will only be Callum Hawkins-Rowe's third finish of the season. It'll be the first meeting out of the 3 where he's finished all 3 races, assuming he does get to the end. But significantly, when he finishes, he always has finished on the podium, and it looks like that's the case once again. The 41 car running well 41, of course, the number raced by Aaron Thompson last year. Thompson up in the Senior Championship. Hasn't had the greatest of starts of the season, has won races, but had a couple of problems which have dropped him down the points order. And Thompson, the reigning champion. Look at the gap back to fourth position. Massive battle on between Carlito Moracco and Lachlan Bierman as they went across the line. Moracco was looking up the inside line, but here is Harry Gooding still there. I tell you what, the third place car, Bradley Burns, still very much in touch at the moment with Callum Hawkins Rowe. If anything goes wrong, Bradley Burns could still scoop the win here down into Yent with the right hander. Then they've got to negotiate Chapman. And it's Gooding still there at the moment. Carlito Moracco's got the fastest lap of the race, 146.5. 69.2 miles per hour. Slightly slower pace in this race than we had in race number 1. But Moracco will be very happy to know that he's still got the speed. And as I said, on drop scores, Carlito, I think, will still lead the championship coming away from Rockingham. But it's Gooding still out front. Gooding will be the top gross point scorer in the championship. This is going to take him on to 168 points. Callum Hawkins Rowe with 3 retirements so far is going to have to count on those drop scores big time. And I don't think he's going to make it up into the top 6 of the championship just yet. But he's doing all that he can and trying to close it now on the race leader. Hawkins Rowe, look, he's using all the road there and closing in on the race leader as they come along School Straight and down towards the Brook S's again. Still Gooding the race leader. Hawkins Rowe in second. Optimised line from Hawkins Rowe into the Brook S's. This might give him momentum along the straight and maybe challenging the closing stages of this one. But through turn 4 goes the race leader, Harry Gooding, who's going to be the championship points leader on total points scored. There is the checker for Harry Gooding, who takes his second win of the year. Hawkins Rowe next from Bradley Burns. Carlito Moracco fourth and fastest lap. Lachlan Bierman from Sikander Hussain. Then Danny Harrison from Jack Davidson, Elliot Wilson, Cameron Pugh completing the top 10.
It was really good. We just kept calm, just looked after the tyres and just slowly caught up to him and managed to get past him and pull away.
Well, obviously I came into this round with only one finish, and it was the podium at Silverstone, and I thought points. It's just all going through my head. But no, it's a great team effort. Obviously with Harry managing to slow the momentum down of Bradley, I managed to capitalise on that and got him out into Yentwood. But yeah, I really couldn't have done it without Harry, without Jamsport. Team hard. My mum definitely, and my dad. They're all great people here.
Bradley, congratulations. Third out this time. Podium's becoming a bit of a habit. You found your form this weekend.
Yeah, I went off on podium first, and then got around about halfway and then started losing with the tyres, and then the Jamsport boys got past.
Well, Rockingham Speedway has not disappointed us this weekend and provided cracking racing for the biggest grid yet at the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship. So join us next time when all the action comes from Snetterton.